Hey guys, so today I want to introduce you to a soundtrack replacer mod for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, which I'm calling Noro's Music Mod. I'm going to talk in the first half of the video about why I've made this, why it exists, and how you can use it. And in the second half of the video, I'm going to be showing a preview of the music that's included, so you can make a judgment for yourself about whether you'd like to use it in your game or not. So the first reason this exists is because the game has been out for over 20 years at this point, and most of us have heard the original soundtrack so much that it's probably engraved in our brains at this point. So this is kind of just a way of refreshing things, changing things up, and just hearing something different in the background. I love the original soundtrack, but this is something you can try out if you're up for just hearing a few different sounds in the background of your playthroughs. Some of the tracks here are between 5 and 10 minutes long, whereas in the original game, most of the tracks are between 2 and 3 minutes long, so you kind of get a bit more variety in the background as you play, and these have been very carefully selected to, I think, fit into the game pretty well. Obviously it's my own judgment, but I think most of these tracks do fit into the game pretty well. The second and main reason I've made this is because at the time I'm recording this, there's a really huge wave of copyright claims affecting people who make Heroes of Might and Magic 3 videos, and in theory it could affect people who stream Heroes of Might and Magic 3 as well. So I wanted to make a kind of alternative soundtrack which uses entirely royalty-free music. It all comes from Kevin MacLeod, who is very well known. You've probably heard his music before, even if you don't realize you have. He's pretty much the go-to guy when it comes to copyright-free music. And very conveniently, he does have a big backlog of really good classical music, which fits, in my opinion, really well into Heroes 3. It is possible that the copyright claims that are currently affecting pretty much everyone who uploads Heroes 3 gameplay could be revoked at some point or reversed, but either way, with this soundtrack you have at least the absolute guarantee that all of this music is completely safe to use in streams, on YouTube, anywhere else basically. It's all licensed under Creative Commons, that cannot be revoked, so there cannot ever be a legitimate reason to copyright claim this content. The only caveat is you do need to give credit to Kevin MacLeod, so I will be providing a link to a webpage in the description which will feature full credits for the soundtrack for this mod. So if you do use it in videos or streams, you'll need to either provide a link to that page, or you'll need to copy and paste the full credit including track names from that page to your video description, somewhere visible on your stream. Somewhere visible basically is the key thing. You need to make sure you credit Kevin MacLeod. That is the one condition of using this if you do stream or upload content. If you don't, then you can of course just have a look at the mod anyway, and you can make a judgment for yourself about which tracks you'd like to use and which tracks you wouldn't. It's really simple to install. Literally all you need to do is you need to take the files and copy and paste them into your MP3 folder, which is located in your Heroes 3 installation folder. I do recommend that you copy and paste all of the original files from the soundtrack into a separate folder so that you can always replace them if you decide to use them again. But as far as installation goes, it really is simply a case of copying the files from the mod into your MP3 folder, and everything should work completely fine. As far as the music goes, I've tried to put as much care and attention into this as possible. I've pretty much spent an entire weekend working on it, and at the time of recording I'm still working on it now. I'm still balancing out the audio levels to try and make them all about the same level. And there have also been cases where I've spliced tracks together, where there are two potential suitable tracks that I've found and I've wanted to use both of them, or where one of the tracks is just a bit too short and I've added an extra track on top of that. But either way, it should all flow pretty well and it should all feel pretty suitable to the game. As I said, Kevin MacLeod does have a massive backlog of classical music, and that is pretty well suited to the game, and a lot of this stuff I could believe it could have been on the original soundtrack. That is just my opinion, but do give it a listen and decide for yourself. If you want any more information on the mod, then do check the description of this video. Otherwise, have a listen to the previews and see what you think.